Here is how to do wings, and hopefully you'll have sound this time. I'm just going to draw a rectangle somewhere, like that. And I think I'll make it a group. And then I'm just going to draw the profile of a wing on here, which would typically be something, could do some research and find out, but it's probably something like this. Come on, be nice. Zooming in always helps with the arc tool. Okay, that's basically it. It's probably not completely right, but we'd have to do a little research on wings. So I'm just going to take that shape and do a push-pull. It's called an extrusion. Pull it out. Real simple way to do this is grab the end, double-click the end. Just get the end. I could drag a box like that, left to right. Hit S for scaling, and so you could experiment with these different handles. The wing could be, if I grab the center right-hand one here, I could bend it this way, or I could bend it back this way, which looks a little weird. I could grab, how about this? I could, I should go the other way. Say I did that, so that's going to taper off this way. Then I could grab the top center handle, which would allow me to do that. I could hold down Alt or Option, which is the same thing, Alt and Option, and I could squash it. I could also grab the bottom handle and just move it up, and that would taper the bottom of the wing up. So really, instead of being flat across the bottom, it's actually the bottom of the wing now is angling up. And you can play around with this. You know, you could do, again, maybe I could do tapering that way. I could grab bottom right. And that is sort of, it's actually squishing it and pushing it forward at the same time. It's pushing the bottom up. That. So now I've got something like that. And again, you can play around with whatever shape you want here. You know, try different handles, see what they do. It's going down somewhat. This is going to go up somewhat. It's a good idea to kind of orbit out and see what you're making happen here. It's kind of extreme. So anyway, let's say I ended up with this. Then if I want to round off the end, if you do a regular push-pull on here, it's actually going to pull a section straight out like that. So if I just pull a little piece out like this, which is now kind of going straight on the axis, so it's got a weird angle right there. But I'll do the same thing. I'll take this, I'll scale it in. You could even do one at a time. I could bend this back. I could bend this in. I could grab this and hold down Alt, squish both at once. I could, and that's starting to create that rounded over effect. I'm going to do this top middle handle, squish this down, or I could hold down Alt and do both at the same time. If it's too much, this is doing this. If it's too much, I could actually move that on the axis, which in this case is red. I could back it in a little ways. So now I'm getting that kind of roll over. And maybe I do even one more. Actually, I'm going to expand it a little bit. And I'm going to do another pull on this. And again, you have to experiment with the scaling. I might just go maybe top and bottom, so I'll hold down Alt. It's going to do that. Yeah, maybe I'll bend this back also. And you really do have to sort of look at it. Wow, that's sticking out like that, so I'm going to definitely scale this in. Right, and you know, so it's doing sort of giving you the effect of roundness here. The other thing is if I light this whole thing up and I go over to the glasses and I go down to the bottom to soften and smooth edges, turn both these on, and usually that's the complete. Sometimes you have to go to the complete, see the complete planes you're doing. In this case, I'll just bring it up until it kind of loses some of those edges. Could also, if I wanted to, I could get in there and possibly, if I could grab that line, I could hide it, or I could hit E for erase and hold down Shift and go over it. Like, as long as E for erase, but you have to keep Shift down if I want to hide lines. That's not so bad. When you're done, and it's still scalable. Like if I just grab this whole thing, I could still hit S for scaling. Maybe I grab the center handle here. I could change its length still. And so if it reads 1 down in the bottom right corner, no change. That 1.00 equals 100%. So I could pull this in, and that's 92%. So I could adjust it. If I wanted a little more, a little less, I could type in 0.90. That'll be 90% of what it was. And that, when you get it done, you're going to definitely make it a group, except that wasn't the whole thing. Look. That, make it a group, line it up on the plane. You might punch it into the plane slightly, and then it's a group. Cut it out, put it in the component. That's pretty much it. One way to do wings.